welcome to my channel. My name is Clary, or the English pronunciation is Clary. I listen to both, so feel free to use whichever. So today, for my first video, I wanted to kind of tell you guys my experience and basically my journey up until my weight loss surgery. My surgery was July 9th, 2018. This video is not going to be about surgery day or the operation itself. I'm going to start off with saying that in my next video, or whenever I do decide to post the video of the surgery itself, there are going to be some pictures that I will include because I want to give you guys the most details possible. So if you do have like a really weak stomach, or just seeing things that are like inside someone's body is not the right way for you, then I would just obviously like tell you guys when I'm about to show it, so you can just skip that part. So yeah, today I will not be posting any pictures, but I will be telling you guys my highest weight and my surgery weight. Day one, it was around March 20 something of this year, where I went with my primary physician and we were just talking. I did explain to her that I had yet to lose any weight, and I told her that I went through a personal trainer about like a year and a half or two ago. Actually, it was longer than that. So I had two personal trainers for about 5 or 6 months. So within those 5 to 6 months, I had only lost about 7 or 8 pounds. It was not a lot for the amount of time that I went to the gym. I let my physician know that something, like if I could be tested for something, because I knew that something was going on. She then told me that day that I have something, I forget what it's called, but it's not a thyroid problem. It's just something where I could lose I can lose weight, but in a very slow, like within years. I'll let you guys know like how much I had gained. I had gained like 100 pounds, about 100 pounds in a year, or maybe even less. In March of this year, I came to the realization that my weight was actually affecting my work. It was affecting my personal life. It was definitely affecting everyone around me. I did notice that plus size clothing is always like more expensive than regular clothing. I do shop at Torrid, which is the plus size clothing, where a top would cost like $38 when my sister would go to Forever 21 and find one for $9. So that was just, it was hurting my pockets because I would always need new clothes because I would be gaining more and more weight. I told myself, I was like, you know what, Clary, like you need to talk to your doctor and you need to see if there's anything she can do to help you to lose that weight. So that day, she was just like, oh, you know, I'm gonna refer you to the bariatric program. And then I was just like, okay, you know, and she's like, so just expect a call in a couple of days. About a week later, I received a call. They were like, good morning, Clary. This is so-and-so from the bariatric program in Richmond, California, and you were referred to by your physician, because I guess in order to get bariatric surgery, you have to be referred to by a physician. And this is just like off topic, but I just wanted to let you guys know I do have insurance through Kaiser, which I've had my entire life. For me, I just love Kaiser, and I know like with different insurances and different hospitals the copay is different and all that, but just like so you guys know, I did go through my surgery and everything with Kaiser. So anywho, they called me and they were like, so we actually have our class on April 12th. If you can come in, that would be great, and please bring a support person, you know, a mature person that can support you through this process. And I was like, okay, at what time? They were like, you have to be here by 7. And it's a class that runs to 12 noon. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like that's 5 hours of just the class. And I was like, okay, sure, I'll make it, you know, without even talking to whoever was gonna take me. I asked my sister if she could go and accompany me. So on April 12th, I thought it was just going to be about 15 to 20 patients and then just 15 to 20, you know, their supportive person. But no, it was like, I might be exaggerating, but it was like 60 of us. It was like this huge conference room, and they had like the long tables where the patients would sit, and then towards the back of the room against the wall there was like a row of chairs where the supportive person were. So the first 2 hours of that class, it was just information, and this case manager, she came and introduced the surgeons, the psychologist, dietitian, everyone who you were going to meet throughout this journey. It was just a lot of information. Once we entered the room, they gave you a name tag, and then they gave you this binder right here, and in the bottom it says, bring this manual to all appointment and classes. This binder is my go-to. Like even now, back then, since the first day, I looked at this binder at least like 5 times a week, because this binder answers everything. Like if you guys have any questions about bariatric surgery, you can ask me and I can answer it with this. They tell us to, you know, just go through the binder, but not to like really read in depth, because it is pretty long. It has 10 chapters, but it has this table of contents that has 10 chapters. Excuse my nasty nails. So I have a question. Those of you that did receive bariatric surgery and didn't go through Kaiser, I would really like to know if you guys got a binder of such sorts, or if not a binder, then what did you guys receive, or if anything at all. They made us, you know, calculate our BMI. So my BMI is, well, it was at 49. My BMI was the highest risk. It tells you right here. See, it says like highest risk, and I highlighted mine. It just says your weight greatly increases your risk for serious medical problems such as high blood pressure, diabetes, coronary heart disease, stroke, arthritis, breathing and sleeping problems, some types of cancer, and even depression and other mental conditions. The healthy one is 19 to 24, so that means I was double the normal BMI, the normal or healthy BMI. That was the first 2 hours, was where they just gave us a lot of information about 2 surgeries, which was the Rowan-Y bypass, gastric bypass, and the sleeve gastrectomy. Kaiser only offers those 2 because they did see the fastest and the best results with those 2 throughout the years. They used to do the lap band, but now they don't do it because I don't know why. They explained, but I didn't really remember because I don't know, I felt like if that wasn't really important. Let us know that multiple times, like they said this multiple times, and I was like, okay, I get it. That surgery is just one step. It's just a tool to a healthy lifestyle, because at the end of the day, it comes down to you. Ask you, why do you want to do it? For me, it's obvious, just to better my lifestyle. They had us say or like write down why, and I did mention like little things. Oh, you know, to start shopping at Victoria's Secret. I had to go on roller coasters because I have a younger brother who is 12 years old and he loves roller coasters. But unfortunately, as I've been getting bigger throughout the years, there are some roller coasters that I just do not fit in, just because either the belt won't close, or the ones that have like the overhead thing, it just won't close up on my chest, or even sometimes on my stomach. So I know like it hurts him to see that. They tell me like, oh, it won't close, like maybe try it next time. Like, he's like, oh, I don't want to go. But I'm just like, you know what, like, I would sometimes would have to lie to him, like, oh, you know, my knee hurts or I have a headache, I don't feel like going on this one. But it was actually just because of my weight, and I didn't want to cause him any embarrassment. He has always seen me bigger, and he's always been super supportive. So see, there Clary goes with her side stories. I just said to better my health, you know, to better my lifestyle. That was the first 2 hours, and then they gave us like a 15 to 20 minute break. And then when we came back, the case manager, the person who was speaking the first 2 hours, introduced us to the nutritionist. The nutritionist, she's great. She told us that we have to change a lot. We have to take vitamins our whole life, like, just because they will be, you know, either reducing the size of our stomach or removing the size a part of our stomach, where the nutrients that we were to get on a daily basis through our food, we wouldn't be getting anymore, just because we wouldn't be eating as much. It was 6 vitamins, 6 different kind of vitamins, and some are like twice a day or 3 times a day. He also told us that if we really wanted this, it would have to start today, like the day of. So that was on April 12th. There was a lot of steps, and I'll take a picture of all the steps that I needed to take, just because there is a lot of them and I don't really want to waste a lot of time. It was like, avoid smoking, take small bites, avoid chewing gum. So I will insert a picture. So that was on April 12th. And my sister and I gained a lot of knowledge that we definitely did not know before that day. During that time, during the 5 hours, they did weigh me, and that was like the first time I was weighed with like the surgery program. So yeah, they weighed me, and that weight, are you guys ready? Drum roll. I don't know how to make the drum noise. So that day when I was weighed, I weighed 314 pounds and 3 ounces. So 314.3. I know, that is crazy. Like, I was in the 300s. And when I told my mom and my sister, they just could not believe it, because they can't really tell. And I think, like, you couldn't really tell that I was over 300 pounds because of my height. I am currently, well, I've been 5'7" for a while now, but you couldn't really tell. Maybe it's the way I dress, because I don't really wear like a lot of fitting clothes. I like to wear kind of loose clothing and high-waisted jeans and all of that. Oh, just a little side note, the only 2 people that knew my weight throughout this entire journey were my mom and my sister Vanessa. The reason why I decided to do this, and I had to like tell my mom multiple times, like, Mom, you can't tell nobody, you can't tell grandma my weight, you can't tell my aunt, like, because, you know, I had to constantly tell my mom not to tell anyone my weight, just because I wanted to let everybody know with this video. On April 24th, so I started, you know, the meal plan and all that stuff, and I wouldn't really walk or nothing, because I would just get lazy, and who really goes on a walk? Like, it's really hot. I was like, no. So on April 24th, I met with my surgeon, and this time my mama did accompany me, because she wanted to ask her the questions that she had, you know, come up with. The first thing they do every time you go to a appointment is they weigh you. So I had to take off my shoes and all that. I was 307 pounds. So in 12 days, I had lost 7 pounds. That was April 24th. I went, she checked my abdomen area. She checked around my belly to see if it was good for me to go on with the surgery. Explained both surgeries thoroughly again, just even though I had heard it, she wanted to explain it again, just in case I had any questions, and also so my mom can know a little bit more information about the surgeries. So I had in mind that I was gonna go with the Rowan Y gastric bypass, just because I felt like if that was better for me. But after she explained everything, at the end of that appointment, I did go with the sleeve gastrectomy, and there was many reasons to this, but the main reason is that if I were to go with the Roux-en-Y gastric bypass, I would have to let go of my ibuprofen or like Tylenol and all of that, just because it would create heartburn if I were to get that surgery. With the sleeve gastrectomy, I can still take ibuprofen, and the reason why like I have ibuprofen is because I do get wrist pains, and also it helps with my knee pain because it comes here and there. Surgeon did tell me that the sleeve gastrectomy was the best, you know, for me, but at the end of the day it was all up to me, like entirely up to me. If I wanted to go with the gastric bypass, then that's fine. So yeah, and after I told her that I was going with the sleeve gastrectomy, she explained that 85% of my stomach will be removed. So they make 5 incisions and, you know, just cameras and the tools and all that stuff in for them, and then one incision is slightly bigger than the other ones, and that is where they take the stomach, 85% of the stomach. So I'm only left with 15% of my stomach, which they always show me with the highlighter, which is like this. So this is my stomach now. Like I said, my next video will contain images, so you guys will see the part that they took out. That day on April 24th, my appointment with my surgeon, she did give me a go weight. My goal weight was to be at 295 pounds or below. I could not meet with my case manager until I met that goal weight. The reason why they give you a goal weight is just to see if you can actually go and, you know, be strict on yourself and on your food, and also because the less you weigh the day of the surgery, it's best for the surgeon, just because she won't have a lot of fatty tissue to work with, to have to like move around and everything, and it's just better. My next appointment was May 15th. I did meet with my psychologist, and his name is Dr. Z, and it was just like the basic questions: who or what made me who I am now, where was I born, where was I raised, how many siblings do I have, who do I live with, just basically to try to get to know me and to see if I was mentally and like emotionally prepared to go through this and start a whole new lifestyle. Every appointment I went to, I received more and more information. I did get a haircut, so my hair was a lot longer back then. He did explain to me that 4 to 6 months into surgery that I am going to experience hair loss. He told me that I stayed quiet for about like 10 seconds, and he told me, he's like, you know, I do see that you have like thick, curly, like beautiful hair, but you need to realize that hair loss. And I did not know that at all. In the last 2 appointments that I had, nobody told me I was gonna experience hair loss. I felt like if it was something major, but at the same time I'm just like he did also say that it was going to be temporary, and the reason why I will get, you know, hair loss is just because of the stress and the fast weight loss. Once he said the word temporary, I was just like, you know what, it's just a little minor setback for a major comeback. And plus I always kind of tend to wear my hair up at work and all that, so I feel like if nobody would really tell. So I was okay with that. I was like, you know what, like my hair is really, compared to, you know, a healthy lifestyle, I didn't really care like what happened to my hair. On that day, it was like 2 weeks or so after my meeting with my surgeon, so from April 24th to May 15th, he did weigh me. I was weighed by my psychologist, and I weighed 301 pounds. I was very disappointed in myself because I hadn't met my goal weight, and I had only lost 6 pounds when before I lost 7 in less than 2 weeks. So But he was like, you know what, you're actually going fast, like you just started not even a month ago, like you got this. And I was just like, okay, you know, like just everyone, the Kaiser team was just very supportive, and they just congratulated me every time like I were to go in and lose weight. So after that, I had no appointment scheduled until I were to meet my goal weight. I went to my local Kaiser just to see a nurse, and so she could weigh me and so it could go into the computer. So I forgot what day it was, but it was a couple weeks later where I weighed myself on my home scale, and I was 294 pounds. So I was like, yes, I met my goal weight. So that's when I called Kaiser. I went into Kaiser in the morning, and because they did suggest, since the very first appointment, they did suggest that if I were to be weighed in the morning, just because in the afternoon or later on in the evening I would have a lot of water weight, and plus like I've had like food and all that stuff. I went in the morning like around 8:30 or 9, and I weighed myself and I was 296.8. I was so devastated, like I almost cried. I looked at the nurse and I was like, man, like I guess I just looked so sad. But she's like, what's wrong? And I was like, well, you know, I'm going through with like the surgery program and I needed to be 295 or less. She's like, you know what, go to the restroom, like try to empty out, you know. And I went to the restroom and I did go pee, and then I went back and she's like, okay, are you ready, like let's weigh you again. And I was like, okay. So after the second weigh-in, I was 294 pounds and 3 ounces. My pee weighed like 2 pounds. It didn't even feel like it, but yeah. That day I had to call back, since I did meet my goal weight. I had to call Richmond Kaiser at around 11:30 or 12 noon just to let them know that I reached it, and so they would schedule me with my case manager. They scheduled me with my case manager the beginning of June. I can't really remember. June 9, I think. I don't know. But the beginning of June. So the case manager, she told me that I needed to stay, from that day forward, I needed to stay at or below my goal weight. If not, everything will be canceled and I would have to start all over again. She told me that it's life-changing, and she told me if I'm ready, and she also said that she knows that I am 22 years old and that I might just think that this is the best decision now, but at the end of the day, like, and she also let me know that since I still am young, I won't really have that much loose skin as, you know, as if I were older. It's just me, you know, trying to tighten it. Like, it will be very easy for me to lose more weight and to tighten up the skin. She also did suggest that I were to get a birth control, because I guess the first 2 years after surgery, it's very easy for me or anybody else who goes through it to get pregnant, just because of our hormones and the very fast weight loss. I went and got my birth control and all that stuff. And another thing that she did say was that they suggest that if I were to go ahead and get, you know, this excess skin removal surgery, that I wait 2 years or more, just because that's when I will hit, you know, like after 2 years more, I guess I lose like 5 pounds like every month or so, but it won't be that much. Well, I will have even more loose skin. But I agreed, and she told me like my copay and all that stuff. She did give me my surgery day. So my surgery day that she gave me was July 9th. So that was less than a month away from that day. I can't really remember the date. I don't know why. She's like, you have to, you know, continue losing weight. You're doing great. All those things. So she gave me the date of July 9th. That day I was still at 294 pounds. I went 314, 307, 301, and 294. My next appointment that they scheduled that day was another series of classes. It was like 3 classes on June 26th, so 2 weeks prior to my surgery. That day they gave me like a little bag, a little paper bag with a bunch of things. It was just that's something I really want to talk about in my next video with the surgery, like the surgery date. But basically they gave me like my, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it or if it's even right, my incentives barometer. It's just basically like a breathing thing where it helped me breathe, because since I did have like a huge tube down my throat during surgery, I kind of get tired after talking. Like right now I'm kind of breathing, like you guys might not really notice, but I'm breathing kind of hard just because I am getting kind of tired. So yeah, so I'm gonna do this right after I'm done. So they gave me this. They gave me one of these little things like for my vitamins and my pills, and they also gave me these 2 cups. This one is 1 ounce, and then this one is 2 ounces. The reason why they gave me these 2 is because this was my meal for the first 3 to 4 days after surgery. Like literally I had these like 5 or 6 times a day, and boom, that's my meal. It was so, I don't even want to talk about that, but basically it was really hard for me to even eat this or drink this because it was only water or broth, so it was very hard. That was my last appointment, June 26th, and that day they did weigh me and I was 292 pounds. So I went from 314 to 307 to 301 to 294 to 292. Pretty well there. And yeah, that was it. That was the 5 classes that I had to go through, 5 classes or appointments. It was at first the 5-hour class, then it was to meet with my surgeon, then with my psychologist, then with my case manager, and then the last 3 classes that I needed to take that were just like pre-op. Basically it was just pre-op information, like the things you had to do the week before surgery, the day before, and then the day of the morning of surgery. My entire family, like my close family, have always been so supportive of me, and once they knew that I took this step into weight loss surgery, they supported me since day 1, which I greatly appreciate. So if you are watching this, thank you. I don't know if I would have gone through this without your guys' support. Thank you guys for watching and hanging on for so long. I do apologize that this video is so long. Please don't forget to comment, subscribe, like the video, and share it. I do also want to do a question and answer video, so if you guys have any questions or comments or just anything about either the bariatric surgery or just my life overall, like please ask me. I do have LIPSI, which is kind of like an anonymous type of thing where you can ask a question and I won't know who asks it. I will link that down below in the description box. Instagram is also linked. You guys can DM me any questions that you have or just comment down below. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys later.